extremely simple. You explained it on the Kickstarter page.
Yeah,
So,
there's two ways of doing it. I call it the soft core and the hardcore. Soft core is really simple. You just basically pick the trait that you want to use. You roll the dice, and basically, depending on rolling low is really good, and you only need one die to be really low. So if you rolling three dice, one of those dice is a 1, a 5, and a 6. You rolled a 1, you did really well.
okay.
If you roll like a 4, 5, and a 6 on those three dice, then yeah, you failed. And I have like a little chart that kind of outlines it. So it's just simple. You need to resolve something really quick. Grab your trait, roll it. If you get a low number, you're awesome. The hardcore is more of based on a threshold. So there's two ways of doing it. You're going to use your trait, as with the softcore version. However, when you roll the dice, you're going to basically keep track of certain successes, because that's going to build up the anarchy or the dark mana. And ultimately, as you're rolling, you're going to build up this larger pool of dice that you can use. So while your trait might be 3, depending on what you're doing, you might end up with 6 additional dice to roll. And how you do that is simply based on so if I'm going to go up and punch somebody, that's going to be my 3 dice.
Okay.
However, if I'm going to go up and punch somebody with brass knuckles, that's going to be an extra dice. If I'm flying off of a bar while using brass knuckles, so now I have brass knuckles, which is 1 die, flying off the bar is 2. And as I build a narrative around what I'm doing, I'm just going to keep stacking extra dice on there. But in order for me to do that, I have to be creative and just continuously add to that scene. Otherwise, sure, if I want to be boring and punch somebody, I got my trait. If I want to be really cool and describe to the game master what I'm doing in this epic tale of how I'm
Right.
doing it, I'm going to continue to stack extra dice. So my dice pool is going to be massive. And then I'm going to roll those dice and, add up the successes and try to beat a threshold. Or if it's contested, and obviously, mooks or goons or whatever you want to call them are pretty simple. You just kind of overcome a threat with them. But what I call the big bads are basically built like characters. So the GM and the player are just going to go on this like narrative, I don't know, war, just to build up dice pools in order to just go at it.
That's a pretty interesting way to handle that. And it sounds like it should play fairly fast and